All right, we're joined by Dean Leggett here of DAWGSTRUCTION. We'll talk a little bit about the Georgia Bulldogs. So Kirby says he's not looking back, he's looking forward. He's got that predator kind of mindset. That's what they need, especially after losing all the guys.
Well, yeah, I mean, we'll see how it goes, right? It sounds good in the off season, preseason, whatever we're at right now. They did lose a lot of guys, 15 guys, school record or whatever record it was for the NFL draft. The offense returns quite a few guys, but defensively they'll have to have players step up who have been highly regarded, who have played some, and secondary should be okay. We'll see about the linebackers. That's sort of the question. D-line has got some very good players on it, and the question is, are the linebackers going to be as good? It's hard to be as good as they've been.
So Stetson, I was having a conversation with Benjamin Watson. I understand why people are down on him sometimes. I understand why people would be up on him. It's probably somewhere in the middle. Yeah. But those of you who saw him grind the way he did last year, what do you see from him?
Well, he's not perfect, but he did, he shoved it down Alabama's throat at the end of that game. Right. That's just all there is to it. He has the fumble, which leads to the only Alabama touchdown. That was a mistake by Stetson. Next drive was nothing but passes. So, is he who's the best college? Is he Johnny Manziel? Okay. He is not. But he has a national championship, and it's not because they hit him. It was, in fact, in the fourth quarter because of the way he played. Now, if you want to criticize Stetson, I can help you out, but it does get overdone. That's my take on it. Is we've gotten to the point where criticizing him without giving him praise has gotten a little silly. But it's up to Stetson to perform. If he does, in the 6 years that Kirby's been the head coach at Georgia, the starting quarterback at the beginning of the season 3 times has not ended the year as a starting quarterback. And I don't think that will happen this year, but I didn't think it would happen last year.
So the defense last year, obviously one of the greatest we've ever seen. They were phenomenal. This year is still a TBD. So how does that partnership with what Stetson does, but with the defense that really had his back last year?
So this is the question, well, what you just touched on. Is the offense going to be, and they suspect it will be, better, improved enough to where the fall off on the defensive side of the ball is irrelevant or doesn't matter as much? You're talking about, 7 points a game, something like that. If the defense goes up 3.5, does the offense go up 4? And they should be better on offense. They're not going to be better on defense, but Kirby has not had a bad defense at Georgia yet. So it's all in the margins. Where are they going to be when you got to score, can you score? They had to score against Bama in the fourth quarter. They did.
Let's talk about wide receiver, a situation there that some new guys in, some guys have left. One guy went over to Alabama. We'll talk about the depth there and how they extend the field with the new players.
Well, you're talking about Jermaine Burton, who really is a good player. He will be a very good player at Alabama.
Will he be good for them? Is he a good fit?
I think so. Yeah. I mean, look, Jermaine Burton has the ability to knock the roof off the building with speed. Georgia doesn't throw as often as Alabama does lately. But Burton scored in the Orange Bowl. That's just Jermaine, so he's a very good player, no question about it. I have a board in my office, and I'm trying to visualize all the guys because they don't have a superstar.
Right.
But they have several more than capable players who made plays in the national championship game. A.D. Mitchell, who grew up in Houston, is a guy that really was important for Georgia. Brad McConkey from North Georgia. You've got Kearis Jackson from Middle Georgia. The return of Dominic Blaylock, Dominic Sanders was a player for them years ago. The return of Dominic Blaylock is perhaps the most curious thing here, because he could be a very dangerous weapon for Georgia. And that's just receivers. Now, they have 10 returning receivers, I think it is, and 7 of them have significant playing ability, or they have played a significant amount of downs for Georgia. Their strength is tight end, though.
Where does the leadership come from this year? I mean, we talk about Stetson 6 years, but where else?
Well, the guy that had the glasses on today, his name is Nolan Smith. This is his 4th season at Georgia. He he has a lot to say.
Yeah.
I think if you talk about leadership, it will come from those two guys, not exclusively, but they will be, on the offensive side of the ball. Stetson's lived it. There is no person in college football who is returning as the starting quarterback that has a national championship.
Yep.
That person doesn't exist. Stetson's one of them. The other person on the other side of the ball will be Nolan Smith, who decided to come back to try to elevate his stock prospects next year. So those will be the two guys. But if younger guys won't do it, then they won't be successful. Your leadership does not have to come from experience. It can come from whoever is there, and those are the two main guys people are going to think about.
All right, last thing for you. Let's talk about the schedule, opening it up with Oregon. This team is no stranger to having a good game right out the bat. Last year went a long way. What about starting off with them?
Yeah, I mean, look, the difference now is, although they won last year the Horseshoe, that's about what they're going to be dealing with coming to Atlanta. I mean, it's just a lot to ask. And you have a brand new coaching staff. It's a significant challenge for Georgia. They've not lost a season opener under Kirby yet. And now you've got Dan Lanning, who was the head coach. It was the defensive coordinator, at Georgia for years. And now he will be the head coach of the Ducks. You're dealing with Bo Nix, who has had a hard time against Georgia's defense, where a lot of people could say that. So it will be challenging for Oregon. I do not expect that Oregon will win that game, but it is – we don't know what we don't know.
Right.
That's a tough opener, though.
Appreciate you, Dean. Thanks so much, man.
Thank you.